say shit you too scared to say. I'm a real bitch now, deal with it. I'm a real bitch now, deal with it. We say shit you too scared to say. I'm a real bitch now.
You tuned into Raw Real Talk, where we keep it 100 with you at all times. And on this segment, this is a follow-up video to the video I just did about Pastor Jenkins turning down that family for funeral services because of the deceased being gay and him having a husband. And I got a comment that was brought to my attention because people are confused with what's going on in today's world, in today's society. And the negative focus is always on the victims, opposed to pointing fingers to who has really caused the pain. And people get caught up on my use of profanity when I share my emotions about something. And this whole thing about church and saying, oh, you must not go to church because you curse. I just don't think people understand that when a person dropped the ball with inhumanity, it is what it is. Me saying fuck ain't going to change the fact that some shit happened because I put fuck in front of fucking children are dying. There's a fucking war going on. It's fucking racism going on. Just because I put fuck, it ain't going to change that it's happening. And people getting so caught up on the profanity use, but they want to deny what's really going on in front of their faces. And church and going to church has very little to do with a person's love for God. And the sooner people understand that, the sooner they will be better off in the way that they view things and being honest about situations. People are delusional if you think church will save you from the reality of global crisis. You going to church stop young boys and girls from being molested by their pastor from their church? Hell no. Did church stop 4 black little girls in Birmingham from getting bombed, killed, murdered inside of their church? Fuck no. It is inhumanity that created these events and hatred. My profanity use and rant is like a grain of sand compared to what's going on globally. People getting murdered and shit. And you want to focus on the fact that I'm saying fuck and motherfucker and fuck you. Just really think about what you're saying. And the person that made the comment said it's ludicrous with what's been said because the people knew what they was getting into. They knew they didn't like gay people. And you feel that's justifiable because they're saying they don't like gay people? Is discrimination ludicrous? Is denying a person human rights ludicrous? What is ludicrous exactly? Because the only thing that I find fucked up and inhumane and insane to deny a deceased person the right to have a funeral because he or she is gay. So did church stop these 2 black men from getting gunned down, one chokehold to death, the other one shot in the street like an animal? I mean, you got to understand and think about what you're saying. If you want to go to church, that's fine for you. But don't sit there and try to point fingers because somebody don't go to church and the fact that I'm cursing prove I don't go to church. What the fuck that got to do with it? If I went to church, I'll still fucking curse. Don't get caught up on the profanity. Because if I'm angry about something, I'm expressing myself like you have every right to express yourself. And I embrace that. But I still have every right to respond to what you said and challenge you with the questions that you said. If you want to challenge me and ask me questions, I am very open to have a verbal platform or written platform for us to go back and forth so I can understand what it is that you're saying and what you're thinking. Because I embrace what you think. That's not the problem. We can disagree. So that's not the issue. The issue is that people have to understand when they make a decision who the decision is affecting. And in this case, the pastor and his members who denied this family dropped the ball. If this family went to this church all of their lives, and just because you find out something that they kept private and something like a person being gay, I mean, come on now. I want you to think about that. And you are open to continue to leave your questions and your comments. But I have to do this follow-up video so you can understand what's really going on. And you can go to church all you want to go to church. Embrace it if that's what you want to do. That's your right. And it's my right not to go to church. So if you want to mix the issue and saying, oh, you're cursing because you don't go to church, hey, that's what you feel. And just in the fact that you were saying, I'm assuming you meant that my voice is annoying and all of that. You have a right to say all of that if that's what you want. I mean, my voice is okay. You'll get used to it. But the bottom line is the bottom line. If you are a pastor and your job is to deliver love, deliver peace, and embrace all people, because God embraced all people. He does. And according to your Bible, if God can forgive 77 times, I mean, you're mad. How come you couldn't forgive and make the choice to say, okay, we will do this. Let the deceased deal with his God. Let the family deal with his God. Because the last time I checked, if he's a Christian, you're a Christian, the family is a Christian, you all believe in the same God. So for you to sit there and say, I'm not going to grant this man or a woman a right because they're gay, you have to see where your heart lies. And then, of course, you're going to have people saying different comments that they, agree with you, that you made that decision and you stand by your decision. That's fine. But in the result, a lot of people are looking at you like you're insane.